In today's video, we're going to be building the interior of our summer roleplay house in Bloxburg. First, I'm going to give you a full house tour. I'm going to show you all the rooms, and then we'll start building. If you've missed part 1, the exterior, make sure to check it out. The video link is in the description. So this is what the house looks like now that everything is decorated. The interior, we're going to check it out right now. I'm so excited to show you guys how it turned out. I love the colors and the aesthetic. As we know, the exterior value was just $25,000, which isn't bad. So the interior is about $110,000. I hope that's not too much. I'm sorry. I got a little carried away with like the kitchen, but it's really cute. Okay, it's still not that bad though, but I do love the wallpaper. You guys will see all the decal codes in this video as we build, so you'll be able to use them. So then we have this hallway which leads to our kitchen, guys. This is my favorite room. I love this kitchen. I placed some blueberry muffins because I thought that matched like the color of this build. I use a lot of blue because that's kind of like the primary color. I think the color scheme's pretty nice, but I love this kitchen. This little island thingy is so cute. I just love the view. Like, it's so nice and aesthetic. So this is definitely my favorite room. And then if we go to the left, kind of the left, yeah, it's the left facing the front of the house. Then we get to our living room over here. So this one's pretty nice too. It's pretty simple, but it has everything you need. You know, the wallpaper really carries this. I really like the wallpaper. And then if we go to this door, we get to our first floor bathroom. We have 2 more upstairs. I almost forgot. This one is pretty cute. This is probably my favorite. I low-key like the way I set it up. Kind of modern too. I like the modern vibes, but it has a nice like light aesthetic for summer. This is a dining room. So this room is like really simple. It's not too cluttered because I always hate that like dining rooms feel cluttered. You can't like walk and sit down, you know what I mean? So we go outside and I love the backyard, guys. This backyard is so nice. I even built a pool and then I used a new update items to make a slide. I thought that was so cool. I low-key love going down this. I was just doing that a few times when I was finished building. I love this little area. It's so cute. It's great. It's spacious. Enough room for role playing. And it's still like pretty affordable. You know, the house isn't like $1 million, you know? So I feel like it's pretty good for the price. Yeah, so we're gonna go upstairs. I love the staircase. I just love the colors. Like, you know, and the wallpaper just looks really nice. Wallpaper is so easy to place, by the way. Don't worry. You're gonna see. And this is the hallway. Very spacious. So this is our first bedroom. This is the pink room. I like to color coordinate my rooms. So this one's pretty nice. A lot of like bookshelves. Maybe you like to read. Also, I like those plushies. That squirrel plushie was really cute. So over here is our next bedroom. This is the dark blue gray kind of color room. I placed a vanity here, you know, some like makeup products. Yeah, lovely view at your backyard. I really like this room. Pretty simple, but you know, it has a lot of roleplay items. Like I said before, roleplay house. So this is our second bathroom, the first bathroom upstairs. I actually like this bathroom too. Wait, I said the first one was my favorite. This one actually might be my favorite though. I love the colors. I also love what I did with this bathtub and like the window thingy. You'll see that when we start building this. But I love the counters, you know, a lot of roleplay items. So roleplay friendly house. We know this. I've said this like 10 times already. And I just love that it feels so summery, you know, like such a vibe. This is the parents' room, so pretty simple because, you know, parents really won't have a lot of decorations. They don't really need that. And then this will be our last room. So I went with like a light bluish kind of color scheme because that's like what I use for the exterior. This is probably another like whatever older kids room, you know, another desk and stuff. Why is there a tree poking through my wall? I did not mean to do that. Oops, I should fix that. This is our last bathroom. This is a little 2x2 bathroom. I for some reason have an obsession with making 2x2 bathrooms. Very cute, very simple, but has everything you need. So we have 4 bedrooms, we have 3 bathrooms, we obviously have the kitchen, we have the living room, we have the dining room, we have a big backyard. It's so spacious. Like, look at all the space that you have to walk around, the hallways, the entranceway, just everything is so spacious. You're not like bumping into things. You don't feel like claustrophobic. Great roleplay house. Great for summer because yeah, summer is gonna start within like a few days. Kind of. It depends where you are, I guess. But we're gonna start building this right now. If you missed the exterior, make sure to check it out. The link is in the description. But if you've already seen that, then let's start decorating. So we're gonna start building the interior. So much fun. We have to start off by placing the floor though because yeah, we're on grass. And then I have to place the pillars. But first I'm gonna use a nice dark brown with the wood tiles material. I'm gonna use this for each room except for the bathrooms. The bathrooms will have their own really nice floor, which is gonna be white with the diagonal bordered marble material because I feel like that's like luxurious for a bathroom. Also the garage though, I'm gonna do concrete because that's really like basic. Like we don't have to worry about the garage. Like you only park your cars there. So once we place the floor on the first floor, I'm gonna go place the stairs, which are gonna be the L recess stairs, like the left ones. As you see, I'm placing it in front of the mirror. Whoa, window, wrong one. I am gonna place a mirror like in front of those stairs like later, but yeah. Sorry, I'm a little tired, guys. I've been playing so much Roblox. Roblox. It's really bad actually. I've been losing sleep over Roblox. Anyway, once we place down the stairs, we can go upstairs and place down all the floors. Make sure the ceiling color is white, and then make sure you place all the brown floors in the bedrooms, and then place the marble floors in the bathrooms. Also, don't forget about the hallway. We have 2 bathrooms upstairs, and we have 4 bedrooms, and we have a lovely spacious hallway. Once we place down all the floor, I'm gonna go ahead and place down the pillars because I wait till my interiors to place pillars for some reason. I like to do them all at once. So I'm gonna skip that for you so you don't have to watch that because it's like really boring. But if you didn't place them, go ahead and place them now. But if you did place them already, now we can work on the wall trim. So we're gonna go back downstairs and we're gonna be using the flat crown molding. I'm gonna place the wall trim as we go along. So each room I'll be placing it like room by room. So the bottom wall trim we're gonna use the wood panels. I love these, all white again. They have like a simple realistic look and they're not too expensive. So yeah. Oh wait, actually I lied, sorry. I ended up placing all of the wall trim. Oops. But yeah, you can wait to do it room by room if you want. It looks nice though, you know? Okay, anyway, now we can start decorating. This is the fun part. So now we're at the entrance area. I'm coloring the walls, but I actually changed the wall color a bit. I ended up using quill gray later on. It was just me being like annoying. I just liked quill gray better, is my preference. I like to use my exterior colors for my interiors, so I was trying to use a lot of grays. And of course, whites and the blues. We'll use all those. All right, so now I'm gonna place an arched door frame right in front of the front door because yeah, kind of matches like the arch thing we did outside. And that's our little entrance way. This is how it's set up. So now I'm going to start to place down some tables. I'm going to use an industrial console table. I'm going to color like every table and counter basically white with dark stone gray because yeah, like those exterior colors. And then for my table, I'm going to place down a bunch of decorations like a photo frame. I'll place down some car keys, like cups, basically stuff that you would see on like an entranceway table. I'm also going to do some plants, of course, because we love plants, but that's what I'm going to do. You can add in anything else, any other roleplay items. Oh, I am going to do slippers. Placing shoes like right when you walk in, like that's I think a really nice idea. So I'll give you a few seconds to place down anything else you want, and then once we're done with this, I'll tell you what we're going to do next. So for the lighting for this room, I'm just going to use a candle. I use candles like everywhere, and linen is going to be our primary lighting. And then on the other wall, I'm going to use some paintings just to take up that empty wall space. And then I'll place the fencing from the patio for the stairs and the balcony, of course, because we don't want our roleplay kids to like pretend to, you know, fall over. We don't have a hospital in Bloxburg, so that would not end well. Maybe we'll get one with the new map revamp, you know? That's actually coming out soon, guys. I am so excited for that. Oh my gosh, that's going to be crazy. Maybe we'll get a hospital. I don't know. Don't listen to me because I have no idea what's going on. I do not want everyone to come like yelling at me like, oh my gosh, why did you say a hospital? I'm just throwing the idea out there, okay? On the wall next to the front door, I'm going to place down a mirror and then like a little bench, and that's about it. This entranceway, really simple. Also, a welcome mat. I am going to use a welcome mat though. I'm going to use the one with the flowers. So it's like summer themed. I thought that was perfect. That's about it. You know, you want your entranceways to not be cluttered because you're walking in and out. Like that would make no sense. It would kind of defeat the purpose. You would trip everywhere. Alright, now that that's finished, we can move on to the living room, which is one of our main rooms. So much fun decorating the living room. Just ignore the wall color that I use. Like I said, I'll change it like during the living room, but I am going to place on a nice carpet. Now I'm going to take the table for the TV stand, which is going to be this quadratic desk thingy, but I'm going to make it look not like a desk. Then I'm going to use the traditional bookshelves because I always do this. They look nice. I'm going to place some books, some nice decorations. They're all colored white though, remember, using our same colors. And then the TV we're going to use is that really nice, kind of expensive, but also not like crazy expensive TV with like the stand. Yeah, and then I'm going to place a nice window behind it, and I'm going to use some curtains. I love to use these little curved curtains with the foil material. I think that's so pretty. And now for the chair, the couch set, you know, all that. So what we're going to use is the contemporary set. So we're going to use the long couch, and then we're going to use a little armchair. And I love these. They definitely feel very summer, but also like modern to me. So I feel like it fits this house. Also, I haven't used them in a while, so I feel like we can use them again. I'm just going to resize the carpet because I'm being annoying. But I am going to color the couches. Guys, ignore the color that I do because I'm actually going to change it up. But you should place down these pillows because I love these pillows, the tufted pillows. And the couch, yeah, I'm going to change the couch color in a bit. So I would say just like ignore it for now unless you like that. I just thought it was a little too blue, but you know, it's up to you. And for the bookshelves, I'm just going to place down some books, obviously. Books, and then I'm going to place some plants. And these are all the colors I'm using for the books. I like to use the house colors, so like white, gray, blues, like dark stone gray. I'm going to skip this so that you guys don't fall asleep because it's a little boring. I also place like a vase or two, and then like a hanging pop. And then for the TV stand, just another picture frame, you know, same pictures we've been using. And then a little candle, you know, same thing. And then I'm going to use a nice traditional fan for the room itself. Linen lighting again. And then on this wall, I'm going to place a painting, but I'm actually going to get rid of this painting because I'm going to swap it out. So you don't have to place this painting yet. I will use it in the future for the bathroom, but if you want to skip this for now, you can. We're going to get wallpaper in a few seconds. Before the wallpaper though, we will have a nice little like coffee kind of table, which is gonna be this nice like wicker coffee table. Low-key has summer vibes to it. And then I'm gonna place like a book because yeah, easy. Over here, I'm just placing down the door for the bathroom. It's gonna be colored the same as the front door, and we're gonna use this door for each room, of course, because yeah, traditional doors, they all match up. So now we're going to work on the wallpaper. So I'm gonna be using this plain square painting. I'll resize it a bit so it matches like the length and the width of the wall, and then I'll place a few, and it's gonna look so pretty, guys. You can feel free to use this wallpaper. I love it. I think it is so nice. It matches this house really well because we use some blue for the exterior, but we also have obviously the whites, the grays. Place this around all the walls in the living room. I will use this a bit again in the future. I won't use it on every wall, so it's not like too annoying and like too expensive, but it's honestly pretty affordable. And this is where I'm changing the wall colors to the quill gray. Yes, I love this color. Now I'm going to be changing the couch colors to their permanent color that I actually stick with. So the pillows are actually going to be the light blue that we use from the exterior. The couch though, I'm going to use a ghost gray because I love that. So pretty. And then behind this sofa, I'm going to just do a nice little console table, add some books, some paper, a vase with some flowers for summer. And that's about it for this living room. Pretty easy, right? Of course, feel free to add in anything else, maybe more plants. I did forget to mention though, I am going to place this weird tripod lamp thingy in the corner. I don't know, it just adds a little bit more light because I felt like it was a little too dim. Also, I thought it was a little too empty in this corner. I wanted to do something, but it looks really weird. But now we can work on the bathroom. This is the first floor bathroom that I really like. So I'm going to place down the wall trim because I don't know how I forgot that, but whoops. So I'm going to be using a shower in this corner where there's like 2 empty squares right here. I'm going to be using the traditional tile shower. I'm using so many traditional items today. Yeah, love this shower set. I use this all the time. And then in this corner with the other 2 squares, I'm going to be doing a nice stylish counter. Actually 2 of them. We're going to color them. For some reason, I'm going to give it a wooden material, the painted vertical wood planks. And then I'm also going to do a pine cone color. And then the top, it's just gonna be white. I don't know why, like the bathrooms are the only rooms I use the wooden materials, but I can't help myself. I think the wooden materials are also pretty. And then I am gonna leave these paintings in here, so if you haven't placed them yet, you can place them now or just skip it. You really don't need paintings though. I'm going to use that mirror from the foyer area because I didn't place a window in this bathroom. Ooh, you guys are so happy. I know. You're welcome. Everyone hates windows in their bathrooms. So now for the countertop, I'm going to use the elegant sink. I love this sink. It is so pretty. Then I'm going to do a bunch of bathroom items. Obviously the soap, perfume bottles, towels, basically any items you want. Anything that you think you'll use for role playing. But obviously if you want to copy what I'm doing, go ahead. That's basically what I'm doing. And obviously, like I said before, I'm using the same blues, the ghost grays, the whites, mid gray, dark stone gray, all those. For the lighting, I'm going to use these like square wall lamps. I actually use these for a real life bathroom I recreated for a short. I thought the idea was nice, so I decided, yeah, I'm going to redo that. You know, it's bright, and that's what we need. We want brightness so we can see when we're going to the bathroom. We don't want to fall into the toilet, which we're actually going to place that now. So we're going to be using the basic toilet. Yeah, we don't need anything fancy. And then some toilet paper, obviously, trash can, real easy. Back to the shower, I'm placing down a little carpet, slippers, because yeah, that kind of looks nice. And then I'm actually going to color the walls. I'm going to do obviously the quill gray, but I'm also going to use the subway tiles. I love to do these for my bathrooms. And then for some extra light, I'm just going to do an industrial pendant. And I'm actually going to color it oyster this time. So yeah, we'll use this a few times in future rooms. But I'm going to place one of these in the garage, but just to add some extra light for the bathroom. And that's about it. Alright, look at that. We have the left side of the first floor finished. Like, we're almost done with the first floor, which I love. Now we're on to the kitchen, guys. I love this area, but before we do that, let me just place down the arched little doorway for this hallway because that'll lead to our dining room and our backyard. And then we'll place down a rectangular carpet, the same one from the bathroom, because I think that's nice. Alright, so now we can start to work on the kitchen. I love this kitchen, my favorite room, you guys. I probably said it like 3 times already. But we're going to be using the arched counters, and I'm going to be coloring the countertop white. The counter itself, the body, is going to be the blue, the same blue from the exterior. So all the counters and cabinets will be colored like this. I'll place another counter on the left side, and then I'm going to place down the Pro Chef oven, which is low-key kind of expensive. Kind of hurt me a bit, but it looks so nice. And the stove with it. Try to keep this affordable, but I really like to make my kitchens like more detailed. I have fun with those. Okay, and now we're gonna do the nice fridge. You could always do the cheaper items if you want to save some more money, but it's not too bad. Once again, whoa, just drop my mic. Don't do that. We're gonna color all of these items. So they'll be like ghost gray, they'll be white. For the cabinets, I'm going to be using the taller arch cabinets. I'll use the shelf cabinet, and then I'll use the pantry cabinet for the fridge. And then they're going to be colored white, and that's pretty much it, just to match like the countertop. Above the stove though, in the oven, we're going to be using this really nice traditional hood. Once again, all these traditional items are just so nice. They're probably like my favorite furniture set. This looks so nice, guys. I love this. Oh my goodness. And then we're going to be using the smaller arch cabinet above that little counter in the corner, because that's going to be the sink area. Guys, I did not forget a sink today. Woo! Everyone clap, because I always get comments, you forgot a sink in the kitchen. Not today. I made sure not to forget it because I low-key love this room. I am going to place a window behind the stove and the oven thingy. Okay, so guys, in this corner, in front of this big window, next to that doorway, we're going to be using the arch counter, and we are going to place 2 of these, okay? They're going to be colored the same, and we're going to make a cool little, like, square, like, island thingy. I don't know. It looks so cool, I think. I, like, thought of this, like, as I was going along. I was building this at, like, 2, 3 in the morning, and I low-key was, like, had no idea what I was doing. I was so tired. But I came up with this. You know what? I'm, like, most creative, like, so late at night. Yeah, it was worth it. I love this. This is, like, my favorite part. And then, obviously, some stools, because, yeah, we want to have a snack over here. I want to place down, like, a little cake stand. I'm going to place blueberry muffins, because I love muffins. I want a muffin so bad. Please, someone give me a muffin. And then I'm going to place a little vase, some flowers. Oh, it's going to look so pretty over here. And then I'm even going to place down a little plant in the corner. I'm gonna go to garden and make my own plant by using the luxurious pot and then that really fancy, realistic. Love this little hack. It saves you money because it's cheaper than most of the pre-built plants. Now is the time to place down all of our appliances. So we're going to do the microwave in the cabinet. That's why I love placing that cabinet shelf. And then we're going to place down the dishwasher. I'll place that in the corner so the sink is above that. I hope that makes sense. I think that's kind of cool. Obviously using all the same colors. And while we're over here at this dishwasher area, we're gonna place down the kitchen sink. And then I'll decorate this area, so I'll add in the soap, I'll add in the towels, anything else you want. We're also going to be placing down the oak shelf. We're going to color it white. I actually use these later on, so you'll see them again. I want to place down some dishes, like some dirty dishes or dishes drying out over here. I thought that was really clever, like creative, you know, nice detail. Now we can get back to placing the rest of our appliances. So I'm going to use a coffee maker. I'll do a cup with it, and then I'll place down like a toaster in the corner. And then any other kitchen decorations you want to use. I'm going to use probably like some spices, some pots, you know, just basic stuff. But make sure you leave counter space so that you can actually cook your food. You can cook your food right next to the fridge. You can also do it on the island thingy, the 2 counters. So you have like 3 different spots to cook your food, but make sure you leave yourself some space. Don't clutter it. Add in anything else you'd like to this kitchen, any other decorations, up to you, like I said before. Now I'm going to be placing down another rectangular carpet along the counters. I'm going to color it this time though, white with a diagonal marble border texture like we did for the bathrooms. I thought this was like a nice little detail, you know, makes it look like fancier, so... Of course we'll need some lights, so I'm gonna use the vanity lights above that hood thingy. I love to do this. I do it in all my builds. And then I'm gonna take that little pendant from the bathroom, place it above that little plant. And then for the actual like ceiling light, we're gonna use this really pretty glamorous ceiling lamp. I think this is so pretty. I'm actually gonna color oyster this time to make it a brighter glow. And yeah. That is pretty much it for our kitchen. Now I'm just going to place down some wallpaper. New wallpaper this time. Woo! Still matches the blue and the white aesthetic. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, now it is time to work on our dining room. This is our last room for the first floor. So we're going to be using the arch rectangular dining table. Oh my gosh, it matches those cabinets and the counters. I didn't even think of that. And then we're going to be using the rustic chair. We're going to color the table white with marble. And then we're going to color the chairs white and then a blue. Probably the same blue that I used for the exterior. Place those all around. Now I'm going to be placing down a sliding glass door for the back door because this will lead to our backyard, guys. I'm so excited for that. But first we have to finish the dining room. So what we're going to do next is set the table. So I'm going to use a vase and I'm going to place my roses. I always do this. And then I'm going to place my roses as a centerpiece. And obviously each chair is going to have a fork, a spoon, a plate, and a cup, a napkin, you know, all that. We kind of want that. I'll skip this process though, so you don't have to like watch me place down 10 different plates over and over again. But yeah, we're going to place down plates, fork, spoon. I don't even know if we have a knife. I don't think we have a singular knife, so I'm not doing that. But napkin, you know, cup. Everyone wants to drink water. Let's all stay hydrated, everybody. Talking to myself here. I need to drink more water. And then I'm going to place out a tablecloth. I love to do this. Going to color it blue and white. So pretty. Love the colors. And then the same carpet from the living room. Going to use that. It is so pretty. And for the lighting, we're going to use a really pretty traditional chandelier, linen again, so we have some nice like light glow. Love that. And then I'm going to place some windows. So the large window directly behind that table, and then I'll use that smaller double window to the right of the table, but we're obviously going to have to color our wall color, the quill gray. And no wallpaper this time. I'm just going to place plants in the corners, and that's pretty much it. I will steal those 2 paintings from the foyer and place them over here because I hate empty wall space. That's pretty much it for this room. I'm not going to add anything else because I want my living rooms to be spacious so you don't trip. I'm just going to adjust this carpet and then we can work on the backyard. Alright, it's finally time to work on the backyard. And then we're finished with the first floor so we can work upstairs, which is going to be so exciting. So I'm going to be placing down the patio, which is basically going to be directly beneath that second floor overlapping wall. You see what I mean? Really cute little patio area. And then I'm going to use the same grass from the exterior, from the front exterior to make our little yard. And of course, the same fence, you know, going to outline this. But first I'm going to place down the patio decorations, which will be a picnic table for little cookouts. And then next to it, I'm also going to place a grill and a little table with little utensils, which is perfect for cookouts. The table is going to be colored the pine cone. And then, of course, if you want to add anything else, go ahead. I'm just giving you a really affordable, basic idea. Really easy to follow, too. Now we're gonna get some light. We're gonna do string lights, guys. I'm gonna place these string lights. Make sure that custom placement is on. I'm gonna place them in between each pillar for a nice like summer vibe. I love this. I always would do these in my summer homes. And now I'm going to take the floor again and we're going to extend this little patio area out a bit because we're going to add a pool. We're going to place the pool 1 square and then we're going to extend it out a bit behind it. So basically it'd be like 3 grids. So it's basically like a 3x3 pool with just like 1 little square so that you can get in and out, you know what I mean? That'll be like the little ladder area. And then I'm going to place a patio around it, and then I'm going to place the floor around everything else above all the empty grass. Because I'm now going to go to the new playground kit, and I'm going to use a slide, and then I'm going to use these stairs. And this will be our little like slide to get into the pool. Like, I love this. This is so cool. I love like going down the slide. I had to test it, you know, how to make sure it worked. And then I'm going to place the plain short fence to outline the pool. And then I'm going to place obviously the ladder for the pool, get in and out. And now I'm going to go back to finishing the yard. So I'm going to place a fence around the yard, add in any more grass if we need to, and yeah. Then we'll be able to place down some trees. So we're going to spam trees everywhere. You know, we love the privacy. Also makes it more detailed, more realistic, and lively for summer. We love the blooming, blossoming trees. And then I'm going to place down some grass, basically the plants from the front exterior. So grass, compact bush, flowers. That's pretty much it. So go ahead and add in anything else you want. Any other roleplay items. You guys have more blocks books than me. As you can see, I have 342. Yeah, a little sad. So I can't really place many roleplay items. That's why my backyards are usually like simple like this. You know, it's pretty affordable too because, you know, there's other people like me who don't have much money or blocks bucks. So this is a really affordable, easy to make backyard. But it's also sufficient for roleplays. And it has a lot of activities, you know what I mean, that you can do, like go swimming, cook out, you know, stuff like that. So feel free to expand on this, add in any of your touches. If you do add something really cool like a hot tub, oh my gosh, take a picture of it and tag me because I would love to see it. I would love to admire it and then cry that I can't afford the hot tub. Appreciate it through your post. But yeah, I'm gonna place just a bunch of flowers and plants because, of course, I love those. Also adding in some pool items like a floaty and a little noodle. Okay guys, the backyard is finished. I low-key think it's so cute. I love the slide. That's my favorite part. Now it is time to go upstairs to the second floor to all the rooms, to all the bedrooms and the bathrooms. So what we're gonna do is take the traditional door from the first floor and we're gonna use that for all of the rooms upstairs. So place that on all the walls. And then we're gonna decorate the hallway a bit. Basically what we're gonna do is just, oh, I have to move that tree because it's like clipping through, whoops. But basically what we're gonna do is just decorate the hallway. We're just going to add in a little carpet that we used on the first floor again, the same one, and then we're gonna place down the wallpaper from the living room because I love that. I'm just gonna place it around on each wall. Of course the walls will be colored quill gray. But first I'm going to place down some plants. I'm going to place down a little like chair, you know, take a seat if you get tired from walking up the stairs. You know, maybe take a rest. You actually have a nice view from the top of the stairs. Like that open ceiling is really nice. So maybe you want to just appreciate the view. I'm also going to add in 2 industrial pendants from the first floor again to place above the carpet. That'll be our hallway lighting. And the final thing I'll do for this hallway is take the living room wallpapers and place them on all the walls. Alright, the hallway is so simple and spacious, quick and easy. So now we can work on the first bedroom. Of course, the wall color is the same, the quill gray. And this bedroom is going to be pink. I like to assign like one color to each room. We're going to be using the modern double bed for this room, and we'll place it where that roof is glitching through, but trust me, I'm going to block it in with this large traditional bookshelf, and then I'll place that behind the bed, and then I'll place obviously books in it. But first I'm going to take the smaller traditional bookshelves from the first floor and place one on each side, blocking that wall. And look, now we don't have a weird, ugly roof glitching through. So we can just place down a bunch of books and other decorations, like some plants. And in the center bookshelf, I'm going to place down a bunch of plushies, like bears and the little squirrel that we just got, because that was cute. Place down anything else you want, some book frames, more books, yeah. Now it's time to color the bed, so we're going to be using seashell. The bed itself will be white, and then we're going to use some nice trim pillows, and those will be colored white with mid-gray. And then in front of the bed, we're going to be using the transitional dresser. And then this will have like a white body, and then it'll have a dark stone gray top because I want to use that color more. And then for my dressers, I usually place a bunch of bathroom items. So I'll do like perfume, maybe like a hairbrush, paintings, anything like that. Now next to my bed, I'm going to place down the double window so we have some natural lighting in here, you know, and then maybe a plant, and that's about it for this room. You know, we want some walking space. I will place a carpet beneath the bed, but that's really it. Nothing to where you're going to trip. And now that bedroom's finished, so we can work on the second bedroom, which is right behind it. This bedroom is gonna be like a lighter shade of blue. I love blue for summer homes. So we're gonna be using these smaller modern beds. So we're using the modern beds for these 2 rooms. I like to place the bed in the corner, get it out of the way so we could like have a lot of walking space, and then place an end table, the industrial end table next to it. And of course, like I said, the colors are all gonna be like the same that we've been doing. And then I'm gonna place an alarm clock on that table again. Of course, I'll place like a lamp so we have some lighting. We want to wake up on time so we could go to the beach. We could go maybe I would say get ice cream. It's a little too early. We wouldn't want to get ice cream in the morning. Maybe like in the afternoon. Maybe wait. Okay, how about go out to eat? Like go to the diner. Oh my goodness. I love getting these like chocolate chip pancakes. So good with like strawberries. Oh my gosh. All right, I haven't been able to eat those in like so long, but now I want to do that. All right, that is on my summer bucket list for 2025. Go to the diner, get some strawberry chocolate chip pancakes, and then go to the beach. Oh, what a day that would be. Anyway, we're gonna place the dresser down in front of the bed, the industrial dresser, so we'll match using the industrial set. I love the industrial items. And then as always, I place like bathroom items. Also a mirror. I'm gonna place a body mirror because that's perfect right next to the dresser. I place like perfume, the hairbrush, you know, paintings, plants, whatever you want to do over here. And once you've placed all of your like items and decorations, what we're gonna do is place that double window again right next to the bed on the left side because we want some natural lighting. And you know what, I'm just gonna be honest, it's because I hate empty wall space, especially in bedrooms. Obviously in real life you won't place a bunch of like random stuff on your walls, are usually empty, but I don't know, I like windows. It's an easy escape, you know. It's a little hack, like it takes up all that space and stuff. And then I'm gonna place a tapestry behind the bed because yeah, that makes sense for bedrooms. That's perfect. And then some string lights because yeah, those go great with tapestries. Then I'll just do a rounded circular carpet beneath the bed because yeah, once again, add some more detail. So now we can color the bed, and as always, we're still using the white, we're gonna still use the gray, but I'm gonna be using a bluish gray, the fossil, for the bed itself, with plaid because I love that material. And then of course the furniture will be white and gray again. Then in this corner, I'm going to place a little beanbag down for like a little cozy, comfy, whatever. Maybe you want to like play some cozy games, you know, play your Switch here. And then I'm going to place a window, and that's about it. Over here though, this wall was really empty. I wanted to place a table, so I thought a vanity would be perfect, you know. I'll place a vanity. It'll be colored the same as all the other furniture items, and then like a little stool so you can sit down, do your makeup. So of course I'm gonna place a bunch of makeup products, you know, lipstick, anything you want really. I just placed a bunch of random stuff. At this point it was 3 in the morning, so I was like kind of half asleep, but I was like, wait, this is actually such a good idea. So I don't even know if I was reading the items I was placing down. I was just placing anything. But hey, they're all great roleplay items, so we'll boost your roleplays. Then I'll do a few paintings and then we're done with this room. Okay, we're finished with that bedroom, so now we get to work on the second bathroom, which is the first one upstairs. This is the bigger one, so you could say it's like whatever those grand bathrooms are or whatever. Yeah, I thought for this bathroom we could do a bathtub because we've been using the shower sets. At least I've been using shower sets a lot because they're like easy, you know, they're built in and they look really nice, I'm gonna be honest. So we're gonna do like the bathtub in the left corner, and then we'll do the toilet next to the door. And then we're gonna do some counters, you know, the same stylish counter and then like a basic counter, because I was trying to save money here. I feel bad, I didn't want it to be too expensive, but like there are so many rooms, guys, and it's only like 100,000 for the interior, which isn't too bad. Anyway, we have to place a shower set for the bathtub, so like you could turn the handles, you know what I mean? That makes sense. Now over here, I'm gonna do a little hack, guys, a little build hack that I just randomly thought of when I was building this, 3 in the morning. So we're gonna take a wall and then we're gonna place the modern window, and then we're going to color it the same, like the quill gray, so it's the same color as the wall, and then the white could just be the window hue, so it's like see-through. That way it kind of will look like an open shower kind of bathtub thing, if that even makes sense. I don't know if that does, but I feel like the vision, like I can see it, it's there, you know, and I do like the way it turned out, so hopefully it's nice. If not, you don't really have to do it, save some money. But of course, we're gonna place a sink. I'm gonna use a really affordable one, and obviously everything's gonna be colored like the same again, the white, dark stone gray. The countertops will be the same blue that we use for the exterior, and then we'll do a white body with the gray handles. That's pretty much what we're going for this room. And then as always, we'll do some bathroom items, so we're gonna need the soaps, the towels, you know, anything like that, plants, perfume, anything you want, toothbrush, great roleplay items. That's really necessary. I'll place a mirror to the right of this wall, and then I am gonna place a window behind this sink. Guys, please don't be mad. I know everybody hates that, but this wall was like really empty, and this is like the perfect spot for window. Also, I don't think really anyone's gonna be able to see you from the back of your house 2 stories high. I feel like you should be pretty good. Yeah, and don't forget the toilet paper and the trash can, very important. And then after this, I'm going to place a bathroom mat beneath the bathtub, but I will place a plant though right next to that window. And then I'm going to do one more thing for the shower bathtub thingy. So the walls are colored the same as all the other bathrooms. So what we're gonna do here is go to storage, and we're gonna take an oak shelf color white, and we're gonna place 2 down, and then I'm gonna use this as a shower bar, and I'm gonna use this as like a shower bar thingy to store like soaps and like shampoo, conditioner, stuff like that. Now, like I said before, I was recording this really late, so at this point, oh my gosh, I think I was like delirious. I don't even know, guys. I literally was placing random things up here. I placed down an oil bottle. What? Why would I do that for a bathroom? I placed down one of those spray bottles. I feel like that's kind of like reasonable. That could be like hairspray, but it looks like cleaning spray. But yeah, I don't know, oil bottle. I just thought like a bottle, it could look like maybe shampoo or some soap. I just wanted things to place up here. I didn't know what to do. I was running out of ideas and I was tired, but it works because I color them like the same, the white, the gray, the blue, so it all looks pretty good, hopefully. Okay, now we're finished with the bathroom. I hope you like it. It's probably like one of my favorite bathrooms. That and the one downstairs I kind of liked. All right, so now we're on to the next bedroom. So this is going to be like the parents' room. At least I was thinking that would make sense. So I'm going to use the industrial double bed, and then I'll use the industrial like end tables as little like nightstands, but on each side, coloring the same, the white, the dark stone gray, and the bed is going to be colored ghost gray, and then of course with the white and the dark stone gray. And for the nightstands, I'll just do the same like alarm clock, a lamp, you know, maybe you want to do a picture frame. I'm gonna do a vase with flowers though. Now I'm going to place that large window behind the bed because I feel like that was perfect, like great spot, has curtains so you can like pretend to close them, you know. And then in front of the bed is where we're going to place down the dresser area. So we're going to be using those really tall industrial closets. I'm going to use the shirt and the pants closet so that way we get like both, obviously. And then again, the white, the dark stone gray, the blue clothes for a blue house, and then I'll do a little carpet so that you can check to see your clothes, you know, while you're getting dressed. And that's pretty much it. I will place a giant clock on the wall next to the bed, but on the other wall, I'm going to place down a window because, yeah, we want windows, and then some more paintings, just really basic wall decoration because the parents' room, they're not going to have much, so it kind of makes sense. Alright, that room was pretty easy, you know, pretty straightforward, but like we know, parents' rooms are not really like sophisticated. They don't have a lot of detail. They won't really have as many decorations as a kid's room. So we're on our final bedroom, guys. Let's go. We're almost there. So we're doing the small industrial bed in the corner on the opposite wall of the window. Then I'm going to use the fancy items for this room. So once again, we're using the white, we're using the dark sun gray. The bed is going to be colored a blue. Almost every bed is colored blue, but we love blue. It's a blue themed house. Yeah, I need to start using other colors for my homes. I love using blue, but I also do like green, I do white, I do gray. I used to love doing like colorful homes, but I don't know if people want to see that anymore, but hey, if you do, I'll make a yellow house, you know. Anyway, the nightstand will have an alarm clock, we'll have a lamp, all that. And then, like I said, we're using the fancy furniture, so we're going to use the fancy dresser, and that's going to be right next to the bed. And then, as always, use your bathroom items. On the wall opposite of the dresser, we're going to do a desk. I'm going to use this office desk, whatever this is called, and then I'm going to color it white with dark sun gray, and then we'll place a stool, and then we'll place just a bunch of decorations. I'm going to use paper, I'm going to use like the little binder, I'm going to use pens, I'm going to use tissues. It's allergy season, maybe you will need tissues. As you can see, I have great typos. Instead of saying paper, I said appet. Don't know what that word means, just invented a word, but at this point it's probably 3 something in the morning, so checks out. And then after I place everything on the table, I'm actually going to place down a wall decoration, which is going to be that like easel chalkboard wall thingy. And then I'm going to place post-it notes on this. I love to do this. I think this is such a great like little build hack. It's not really a build hack. It's kind of like I think meant for this anyway, but I do this in my bedrooms because it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like it's a little organizer, calendar kind of thingy. Write yourself notes. Yeah. Now back to the bed, I'm going to be placing down the single window right next to it, and then I'm going to place down another bookshelf with books, as you guessed, and other decorations like our plants. Basically what we've been doing for every bookshelf. Don't worry, I'll skip it so it's not boring. And then another tapestry right behind the bed, and that's about it for this room. I'll do one little heart carpet right in front of the bed, and then we're done. Pretty simple. Okay guys, this is it, our final room. This is like the easiest room. I'm not even kidding. It takes like no time, don't worry. And it's actually really simple. It's really cute. It's a little 2x2 room. I love making 2x2 rooms, specifically bathrooms. So we're going to be using this hygiene shower, really affordable. We're placing that right next to the door. And then I'm going to place the toilet right next to that. And then I'm going to use a little modern bowl sink right in front of the window. So both the modern bowl sink and the toilet will be next to each other beneath the window. I love the modern bowl sink. It's my favorite. So I was just waiting to use this. I'm going to use that brown again. I don't know why I only used the wooden material in the bathrooms and that was it. And then I'm going to just do the same colors as always. We're at the end of the video, so we know what colors we're using by now. And then we're going to do obviously the toilet paper. We're going to do the trash can. We're going to do soap, towels, toothbrush. You know what to do. You guys are pros by now at this point. We're an hour and 15 minutes in. Like, this is crazy. So yeah, we're used to it by now. And then next is toilet. I'm going to take another oak shelf just to add some more because I felt like it was a little empty. It's a 2x2 room, so I didn't want to clutter it too much. But yeah, I thought it was a perfect spot to place shampoo, to place like a candle. That'll be our lighting for this room. And then I'll place just 2 little rectangular paintings on that wall with the pillar in it. So we have one on each side of the pillar, and that's about it for this room. So our house is finally finished, guys. It looks so good. Oh my gosh, it is great for role plays. So here's a quick review. And then downstairs we have, of course, our other bathroom. We have our kitchen that I love, our living room, our dining room. And then, of course, we have a backyard, which is great for role playing. Oh my gosh, this entire house is perfect for role plays. I love the way it turned out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for building along with me. Stay tuned for more summer builds, guys. This is only the beginning. I have so many beach homes planned, and some I'm even building right now. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Love you guys. Bye.